Is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, we are going to be doing the NBA 2K22 MyTEAM Awards Season 4 Hunt for Glory. So what is this? We'll talk about who the MVP of this season was, who the most overrated cards, who's the most underrated cards, then get to our all Ruby, Ami, Diamond, Pink Diamond, and Opal teams as well. Reason I like doing these videos is just kind of to reflect on this season, talk about if this season was a W, if it was an L, just all of those things. Now before I dive into this video any further, if you are new to my channel and have not yet, make sure to smash that subscribe button as we're on the road to 90,000 subscribers. We're going to start it off here with the cheesiest card in Season 4. Cazzie Russell. Jump shot 3 on quick. A lot of people regarded Cazzie as being the best shooting guard in the game. And look, he's not the best shooting guard in the game, but he is probably the most cheesy shooting guard in the game. Not that he's not bad on defense, and offensively, obviously, has base 3, can move and groove. I never even got Cazzie. He doesn't fit my play style. But if you like running screens, Cazzie Russell can be an absolute cheeseball. Yao Ming up next. Look, what more do I gotta say? The dude is 7'6". What more do I gotta say about Yao? The dude is an absolute monster on the interior. Rebounds the ball insanely well. Is literally mash man on next gen. Probably, the cheesiest center we'll see all year for his time is Yao Ming. Last up, Devin Booker. If you're wondering why he's even on this cheesiest thing, it's because it's nearly impossible to contest his release. I've been lit up more by Devin Booker this year than everybody else combined. That should tell you guys enough about Devin Booker. Literally just nearly impossible to contest his jump shot. When it comes down to who I think the most cheesy player in 2K22 Season 4, it has to be Yao Ming. And it just has to be. The dude's 7'6", an absolute cheeseball in my team. Up next, the defensive player of the season, and we got really, really good defenders here. Let's start off with Dennis Rodman. Look, if Dennis Rodman had a little bit better of a release, people would run that card. The reason people don't run him is because he has that Wilt Chamberlain set shot 17 type of release, which it's easy enough to green with Rodman. It's just not very smooth. Although Dennis Rodman is super complete on the defensive end of the court, I mean, nobody really runs the card because of that release. Ben Simmons, our first point guard at 6'11", who is just an absolute cheeseball. Ben Simmons is one of those cards where he just has to fit what you want to do. Do I run Ben Simmons? No. Will I run Ben Simmons? Probably not. But if they would have released the Ben Simmons a couple weeks prior to the Lonzo Balls, to the Jalen Roses of the world, people would have definitely ran Ben Simmons. I would have been one of those people running Ben Simmons. The problem is, Lonzo's 6'6", good interior. Jalen Rose, 6'8", decent interior. Those guys can compete as well. But Ben Simmons is the most complete defensive point guard in my team. Wilt Chamberlain, he's kind of that guy that can give Yao a little bit of trouble. I mean, he can. He's fast. He's got a really insanely good player model. Again, similar to Dennis Rodman. The reason some people don't run Wilt is because of the offense, right? His release is obviously not ideal. All three of these guys are insanely good in the defensive end of the court. If I have to pick one to be my defensive player of the season, it has to be Ben Simmons, just because he's a 6'11" point guard with absolutely incredible speed. Up next, we're going to talk about one of the most overrated cards in his Season 4. Each and every one of these cards is shooting guard, small forward, or small forward shooting guard in Iguodala's case. All three of these cards are cards that, have big names, but aren't very good. MJ. You guys might be asking, how is MJ overrated? Nobody likes the card. MJ's overrated because he's still priced up really good. And I'm not going to sit here and say MJ's bad, because I don't think he's bad, but he goes for more than Terry Dishinger, and that should never happen. Ever. Probably get a good MJ at some point this year. That MJ is not it. Reggie Lewis. I don't want to sit up here and say that Reggie Lewis is bad, because he still might be a top 5 or so shooting guard in my team. The problem comes when people that have Reggie say he's better than Clay and better than Kobe and better than T-Mac. It's just not true. Reggie is very solid in my team, and for a free shooting guard, he is one of the, or if not the best shooting guard in my team for a free card. The problem is he is not Klay Thompson. He is not Kobe Bryant, and he is not Tracy McGrady. People that try debating Reggie Lewis as the top shooting guard in the game are just flat out wrong. Last, but certainly not least, Andre Iguodala. Look, man, Iggy, what more is there to say? When the card first came out, people were like, he might play in 250. He's so good on defense. The card is a bona fide scrub. If you use Andre Iguodala, I don't know what to tell you guys. The dude is not very good in my team. My winner, Michael Jordan. The reason is his name's Michael Jordan. He's got a big name, got a good release, good defense. He just can't move at all on the offensive end of the court. Most underrated award up next, guys. And honestly, I love each and every one of these 3 cards you guys are going to see. I love each and every one of these cards. Now, you guys, we'll start backwards. We'll go with Porzingis first, because a lot of you guys love Porzingis out there. So you guys might be like, well, Ty, why is he underrated? Here's the deal. Kristaps Porzingis is like 40,000 MT. For the what I believe is the best center in the game, how can I not say he's underrated? He's 40,000 MT. I come up against people that were running, Wilt and running, somebody else, and they don't even have KP on the court. Why? KP is so complete. Obviously, defensive badges, you need to add some, but I love me some Kristaps Porzingis. Jason Tatum in the middle. When I grinded for Jason Tatum, I wasn't expecting much. What I got from Jason Tatum was a longevity card who is still my backup small forward to this day. I don't know what it is about Jason Tatum. He is just elite. I know he has a 6'8 wingspan, 6'8, isn't the longest player model, but on both current and next gen, I'm absolutely in love with Tatum. Thurl Bailey, last but certainly not least, kind of the most surprising. When we first got Thurl, you're like, yeah, he's good, but the release. And the release actually turned out pretty solid. I mean, Thurl Bailey, again, and him and Porzingis, both cheap cards that I think can compete at the highest level. Jason Tatum, a free card that I can compete at the highest level. That's why all 3 of these cards are on the most underrated, kind of up for the nomination. I'm giving it to Jason Tatum. I'm in love with this card. Next up, we're going to be talking about the best token reward. You got Rudy Gobert. On defense, he's solid, but not very good in general. Baron Davis, who you have to spend 750 tokens for a very, very mid-point guard. And then Doug West, who isn't terrible, but again, very overpriced. None of these token rewards are worth it. But when it comes to the most playable, it's Doug West. I think Doug West is a guy that if you got and did badge out, he can play for a little while. He is not horrible in my team. The budget MVP award up next. Now, just wanted to start off because you guys are probably like, Thurl and the budget MVP? Guys, Thurl Bailey's cheap, especially the cheaper version of Thurl, like what, 20,000 MT. Buddy Hield, 2,000 MT. One of the best sharp shooters, and he can actually move. They gave him this card handles for days. He can actually move. He can groove. Has the Kobe base on quick. If you never get the chance to use Kobe offensively, I mean, Kobe still moves better, but Buddy Hield is basically a mini Kobe. Thurl Bailey, this obviously is the unevoed version. The evoed version does cost a little bit more, but the unevoed version can still get the job done at a high level. I actually am playing the unevoed version on my no money spent, so I don't have to spend that much MT, and he is absolutely elite. I love Thurl Bailey so much. He is better evoed, no question about it, but even the unevoed version can play. Last, certainly not least, Steph Curry, another really cheap point guard in my team. Steph basically the same as his pink diamond was. He's not perfect by any means, lacks still some things, but a very, very cheap and solid card in my team. Thurl Bailey runs away with this award by far. I don't think there's anybody that can do what Thurl can do for his specific price. Mr. Inconsistent. And the first thing you guys might ask is, wait, Ty, KD didn't make it? Because KD is always on this. And no, KD this season has been so consistent for me the entire season. KD is a card that will probably play in the 250K tournament for me. I don't care if we get a better one or not. He's going to play. Andre Kirilenko is the new KD. Talk about a dude that shoots more full bars than anybody else in my team. It is ridiculous. I had to get rid of AK on my road to 250, although I had one with 15 Hall of Famers, because every shot I shot with him was a full bar. I just couldn't ever find that green window. It was full, and I just got tired of it. I said, you know what, AK, I'm going to have to give you up because you cannot play. Klay Thompson, look, man, he's a card when he first came out I wasn't super high on. I said, I liked Pink Diamond Kobe more than this Klay. Man, was that foolish to say. This Klay is an absolute hooper. My personal, right now, second favorite guy to play at the shooting guard position in my team. He is that good, but he still is inconsistent. There's some days I don't love the card. And then Yao Ming. There's some days I use Yao Ming, especially on next gen, and I'm like, dang, this dude is the best center in the game. And there's some days I don't even play the card. I run Wilton Porzingis over him. He is pretty inconsistent when it comes to just his mashing, and sometimes it feels like he's successful. Sometimes he gets blocked by Chris Paul. For me, Mr. Inconsistent, another pretty runaway award here is with Andre Kirilenko. Best Evo card. Here was a tough one because, I mean, I tried choosing some relevant Evos for you guys. This award goes to who improves the most with their Evo. Now, Larry Nance, he's a really good card, but if you look at the Evo, he doesn't improve much. Derek Anderson, I think, is one of the most underrated cards of the game. Has a really good release. Gets a little bit better with his Evo. Thurl Bailey, though. I'm not trying to give Thurl too many awards, but you look at Thurl's Evo and tell me it's not one of the best. I mean, his Evo is incredible. Evo is him to be one of the best small forward, power forwards in 2K. I'm a pretty big fan of what Thurl Bailey gives you in my team. He takes home the Evo award as well. The MVP of season 4, Yao Ming, 7'6", an absolute cheeseboard. If a guy if I had a little cousin, little John, that picked up this game, he would have more success with Yao Ming than anybody else because he doesn't really take too much skill. T-Mac, I think, especially if you do decide to play him at that small forward position, can be the best at that position. Problem is slash dribble style, but if you can get past that slash dribble style, his release is so elite. Defensively, pretty solid. I know he only has one other favorite, but pretty solid on the defensive end of the court as well. Kobe Bryant, though. What more is there to say? I love the pink diamond Kobe. The dark matter Kobe is that next step up. The MVP of season 4 goes to Kobe Bryant. Now we go to the all Ruby team headed by Eric Bledsoe at the point guard position, Devin Vassell at the shooting guard, on Evo JT Thor at the small forward, PJ Tucker a little small ball at the 4 with another little small ball, Trey Lyles at the 5. I might have missed out on a Ruby or two. I went back, tried to get each and every Ruby in here, and honestly, the more the time goes on, the worse these Ruby teams probably will get, because this Ruby team is not great. Next up, the all-Ami team, Kirk Heinrich at the 1, Avery Bradley at the 2. Again, if I missed out on somebody, I apologize. It's really hard and difficult to get everybody on here. Evo JT Thor made both the Ruby, JT Thor made the both Ruby and Ami team. Here we get the Evo JT Thor. Stromae Swift at the 4 with Willie Cauley-Stein at the 5. Thought about putting Marvin Bagley in here, but I do like Stromae Swift and Willie Cauley-Stein just that little bit more. Next up, the all-diamond team, KPJ at the 1. I put him in over the John Wall and Steph Curry cards. Buddy Hield at that 2. Darius Miles at 3. Josh Smith at the 4. Serge Ibaka at the 5. If you're wondering kind of where Chris Birdman Anderson is, well, I like Josh Smith and Serge Ibaka just a little bit more. Hence why they did make it into the all-diamond team over him. Pink diamond team, we got LaMelo Ball at the 1, Kazi at the 2, Brown at the 3. Thought about putting AK in, but AK is so inconsistent. Unevo Thurl at the 4 with KP at the 5. If you want to put Ben Simmons in here at that 1, be my guest. I'm just not a big Ben Simmons fan. All Opal team, we got Lonzo at the 1 with Clay at the 2, KD at the 3, Giannis at the 4, and Wilt at the 5. Just an absolutely incredible Opal team you have here. You can make the case Jalen Rose over Lonzo. Clay at that 2, I think, is pretty solidified. I like KD at that 3. Giannis at the 4 is a guy I just had to go with. You can put AD in here if you want to, but I like Giannis and Wilt just that little bit more. Let's get to wrap it up for our awards ceremony for season 4 of my team. Let me know which awards I missed out on, who I left off these teams, guys. Let me know that down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.